All right, so I just saw the video of Pastor David Ibiome and Very Dark Man's response to Pastor David Ibiome. Now, Very Dark Man, I love your patriotism. I love the fact that you are always wanting the betterment of Nigeria, and that is one reason I have gained strength. You have taught me a lot personally, not by age, okay? You have taught a lot of us a lot. Now, let's go straight to the point. On what Pastor David Ibiome said, it is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now, you on the other hand, Very Dark Man, you are talking about how Nigeria can unite, telling about how they are trying to, even in your other video where you talked about how the Muslims, the main Muslims, those who are good Muslims, are also victims of what these bad Muslims are doing. I'm sure you did not see some of the castigation they made against you. Some people are even dragging and abusing. There was one guy even said, I'm supposed to arrest that guy because obviously he has shown that he's an extremist. Now, what you are saying in your video, that Pastor David Ibiome should understand that both Muslims are also affected. See, the point is Muslims are affected, Christians are affected. Who is the bedrock of the problem between the Muslims, the good Muslims, and the Christians? It is still another Muslim now. Do you understand? The Muslim who is spying Muslim and the Muslim who is spying Christians, who is he? He is still claiming as a Muslim. We have extremists also in Christianity. We look at them as extremists, but they look at themselves as the real Christians. We are sinners. Those ones that will tell you don't wear earrings, don't cut your nails, don't wear lip gloss, don't wear makeup, don't put relaxer on your head. We see them as extremists. They take the thing too extreme. They see us that do these things as we are not going to inherit the kingdom of God. Have you ever heard that the deeper life people are coming to buy us because we are not the real Christians? Let's tell ourselves the truth. Very Dark Man. You are trying to bridge peace for us to be able to tackle one enemy. You cannot get it right until the Muslims involved acknowledge you and acknowledge it. The Muslims involved should also acknowledge that they are the victims. So every day we are talking about the people in what's it called? The Muslims in the Christians in Jos, Christians in Taraba, they are shouting, they are being affected, they are being affected. How many Muslims do you hear shouting? If the Muslims in the village don't have phone because they are in the interior, what about their family members living in the city? Why have they not come out to cry out? My secondary school mates, she and her parents, they live in Borno. After secondary school, the father called her to come and marry. The father is a good Muslim. Boko Haram, they were among the first set of people Boko Haram by. They were among the first set of people Boko Haram by. She, her own, she was not even in that place. That's why she and her elder brother are the only survivors. The whole family was wiped off. They are, when you say strong Muslim, that's what they are. But yet, they buy all of them. So personally, I know that Muslims are also being affected by insecurity. The point is, what about other Muslims? Are they speaking up? Let us tell ourselves the truth. Even in other countries that you currently have full Islam today, these people did not come out as full Islam. These countries were not full Islamic countries. They were overrun. That's how the attack came. We all of us did social media then. When they see ISIS, they manipulate now. You don't see where ISIS, they do their things. Some of us don't know when Iraq became a full-blown, that you cannot dress well again. Even this Iran you are seeing today, as at 1979, Iran was not a full Islamic country. They were overrun. I remember I said a video like this, and a lot of Muslims were abusing me and raining curses. Some of them know the truth, but they don't mind. They don't mind. In fact, you who is speaking for them, you are the enemy. Imagine, okay, look at what the Damboroba, that one that calls himself Arewa Youth President, look at what he said. Listen.
Very Dark Man need to be arrested for misleading Nigerian on his comment on the issue of Sharia law. Seriously, we want to call the attention of our security agency, most especially DSS. They should arrest Very Dark Man and investigate him based on the comment he made on the Sharia law. We all know we are peaceful Nigerians and we obey the rules and regulations of this country. For Very Dark Man to make such comment,
do you understand now? Do you see? This is someone who claims to be a Muslim. Okay, let us assume, I don't believe he's the real Arewa Youth. It sounds very like someone that just created. It sounds very stupid for me. It sounds like someone that is just creating content. Okay, now let us assume that truly is the Arewa youth president. You see the way he takes up anything that has to do with religion, and you know, he's not even bothered about the safety of his own people. He has never talked about the safety of his people. He's looking for who is going to say something that is coming to attack. So if we want to tell ourselves now that, all right, Boko Haram is a bad person, yes, we all agree. Do you remember when Buhari came, when he said an attack against Boko Haram is attack on the north? Do you remember? So when you have such statements from people who later became presidents,
who started the Boko Haram crisis in Borno State, a governor, Modu Ali Sharif, addressed the press 2 days ago, and attempted to insult the collective intelligence and memory of Nigerians by denying any links with the dangerous, dreaded Boko Haram sect. I did reply him yesterday, and I'm expecting him to sue me, because he said he wanted to sue an Australian. You don't need to go to Australia. What you are looking for in Sokoto is in the pocket of your Sokoto. I'm ready to join issues with him, because not only did he sponsor that organization by providing funds for them, in 2003 he had a deal with the Boko Haram sect to get him to win the election, and if he won his re-election, he will compensate the organization. When he won that election, he appointed Alhaji Bugu Foy as the Commissioner for Religious Affairs to implement Sharia in that state. When the man attended the first Executive Council meeting, he discovered that they were all talking about contracts and how to steal money. So he went back to the camp, the Boko Haram camp, and said, "Where are you sending to?" It's Gida Barawi, the house of thieves. I can no longer be part of them. So he was asked to resign, and that was how Foy resigned from the government of Mutu Sharif. So to say that you don't know them is the greatest lie. I was just reminded this morning by somebody from Borno State that
you have governors who, I think Jonathan said they brought machineries from which countries, and then some of the northern elites were like, oh, they are coming to buy our people, they want to do this one, they want to reduce the population of the north, they want to do this one. Now all of them are quiet. They need to speak out. Yes, VDM, they need to speak out. Northern Muslims need to speak out more. Northern imams need to speak out more. At this point, nobody is scared of buying. So we all are going to speak the truth, and if we survive, we thank God. If we buy, we thank God. They need to come out more and castigate these people. Why do you think Boko Haram is increasing? Why do you think this banditry is increasing? It's because they keep quiet about it. Most of the villages that are attacked, they don't have the radicals among them. That's why they are being attacked. The villages that have radicals among them, they literally train their children to join those radical groups so that they can also have stake. They can say, okay, my own family now don't safe because my pikin dey inside. Do you understand? So that's, at this point there, we're in a state of crickum crackum, according to Agbayabo. At this point, we need to tell ourselves the truth. You will see someone will do something wrong, and somebody will cover him because of religion, because of tribal sentiments. We need to tell ourselves the truth. We all know that Boko Haram and these extremists are against Muslims and Christians. That's the real Muslims who are not their own section and Christians. But at the end of the day, what are they all called? They are called Muslims. So if a Christian is saying the Muslims are attacking them, it is the truth. It is not the good Muslims, but the people who are attacking them also claim to be Muslims. Someone is coming to say Islam is a religion of peace. Another person is saying Islam is telling you this. What do? The people who are saying the truth should try and insist on their message to overrun these bad guys. To overrun the bad guys. Not we that don't understand. If you ask me, I will explain based on what I can see. But you wait there into the real Islam, and you know that this is what it is about, and this is what these people are turning it to be. You guys keep speaking up. You keep speaking up. You keep speaking up. People they say there is Christian genocide. Yes, there is Christian genocide. It is tactically right. And there is genocide in Nigeria because both Christians and Muslims are buying. It is tactically right too. But then who is buying them? It is the same people. If we are talking of facing insecurity, let us start with the ideological insecurity first. The ideological terrorism is worse than the real one, because when you don't face these things, these people keep spreading, they keep spreading. It might just be like 100 people that came in from other countries to come and recruit here. And they are recruiting successfully because these families feel, oh, they keep joining. They keep joining. That's why they buy them today, they are increasing tomorrow, they buy them tomorrow. Because the Northerners also need to understand the truth and condemn these guys. That's how it is. So, Pastor David Ibiome said absolutely the truth. Everybody should be allowed to worship the God that they choose to worship. There should be no sort, because you might be feeling like, oh, Islam, how does the Islamatization start? Gradually, people don't want to go to church. How do people not want to go to church? Because you start getting scared. What if I go to church and this thing, they come to attack you in the church? People start getting scared. Before you know it, they will come and tell you, okay, we will not attack this village again. But everybody, if you're not with them, they come and start attacking your family. You will say, okay, I will join so they will not attack my family. That is how most of the countries you see that are being Islamatized today, that is how it starts. Tell ourselves the truth, bitter truth.